What's up, guys? I finally figured out how to connect my PC and my Xbox so I can now record on my Xbox. We're going to be playing some 2K today. Um, my vision for this, I want to do a series on slowly rebuilding a team over the next couple years and winning a championship. So, right now we're going to look through the teams, see which teams probably need a championship the most, and I want to be able to start fresh and either join during the rebuild or start a rebuild. And so I'm thinking about starting one. We might join, we'll see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of customize some of the rules, customize the salary cap, some of the settings, because I know that later on when you get into the years of 2K, they start requesting their contracts be really huge, and she'll get like Jeremy Grant, a free agent, in like the second or third season of the game, and we don't want that because Jeremy Grant's a very good player. He'll probably be a good player for a long time, and saying that he wants 30 million plus and not being able to get picked up by any teams because everybody's team's salary cap is full, that's just ridiculous. We don't want that. So I'm gonna go through some of these settings real quick, and then I will see you guys back probably with our new team. I'm gonna go look through them, and I'll figure out which one we're gonna start with, and we're gonna do a whole series about this. I'm thinking maybe like 20, 25 episodes for a series to try to get us to win. I'm gonna do realistic trades because I know in 2K you can do a lot of trades that are just unrealistic. You can put like Al Horford and like Tyrese Maxey in, and you'll get Kevin Durant. But obviously, I'm not gonna do those stupid trades. I want to get a really realistic season, really realistic trades. Just have a really, obviously it's not gonna be 100% perfect, but try to get a mostly realistic rebuild. Hopefully that gets us a championship in the next 5 to 10 seasons, the latest. We're probably going to be playing one game every month, so we'll probably do like 4 games a season. Maybe some simcast jumping in, kind of some other stuff. This series is kind of inspired by Kenny For Real's series about his Brooklyn Nets, to where he's doing a completely full rebuild. I'm going to try to take it a little bit slower because I know that those are a little bit faster of seasons and stuff. Try to do some nice trades, get some nice picks, kind of scout late in the draft classes to get some nice rookies. Basically, I'm just going to try to do a sort of realistic rebuild. So I will see you guys back when I get our team and settings figured out. Alright, real quick, guys. I'm going to do quarter length. I'm probably going to play, let's do like 10-minute quarters. I'm not going to turn on the normalized play to sim stats. Not going to do that stuff. I don't want the stats to get crazy out of hand. That was just a quick little thing. Right, I'm going to get back to doing this. We'll see you back. Alright, guys, so I have the salaries figured out. I'm going to kind of run this over with you guys. So we'll go with like a star. Just tested it with Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi Leonard's older. He obviously doesn't play a ton during the seasons. He gets injured a lot. So what I've done is kind of raised the minimum and max ratings. So this means that lower rated players will, or higher rated players, or expect a smaller contract. So what this means is that the players that are really good, they're not and right in the middle. So we'll go like a Jeremy Grant, who is on the Trailblazers. Obviously right now, he isn't a player that deserves the 30 mil plus. I think he is right about at a 20 mil. So even then we might lower this just a tad bit. Like, there's still some adjusting to do. I'm going to turn up the fame a little bit. But yes, I don't think he deserves a huge contract, but like a 18 million, something like that, around there, with the teams competing, um, over like a 4-year period. I think that's plenty of money for him. Then we'll have like players. Let's go like Tobias Harris, who isn't a bad player, but is overpaid, and so he's always gonna help. But at the price that he is right now, he's not. So as a 15 million expected salary, I think that's what he should be valued at. I think he's not a bad role player. I think he's a very good role player. I just think that his contract overrates him, if that makes sense. Then we'll go for like a young player, Patrick Williams. Obviously, the potential is the upside for him. He hasn't showed a ton, but if you're willing to give him around 20 million for the potential, then yeah, definitely he deserves that payday. I might even lower it a little bit because I know 2K will tend to overpay on players that don't have a bright future. And sometimes that happens in real life. I mean, it just happens. Not every player is going to turn out. So we'll get like a Bones Highland. I think 8 million is a pretty good deal for him. He hasn't showed a lot during the second half of the season, but I thought he did pretty good in the first half when he was on the Nuggets. But I think that's a good price for him. I don't think he deserves that really low contract minimum like these, like Daniel Houses will probably get. Obviously, PJ Tucker, he's going to get paid a little bit more because he's a very good player, very underrated. So that's kind of the salary stuff. We have the curve, so we're not going to have minimum players as soon as they start to play good, starts to spike up to like 10 million, or we get rookies on their rookie contract, and then they want a 40 million contract extension right away. Obviously, they'd have to progress a ton to get that. We have our player potential. I think that's at a good spot. Our durability, obviously, some players get hurt a lot. Like, let's go Anthony Davis. Let's see if that does anything to it. So Anthony Davis, obviously, his durability is going to be important. So if he's injured a lot of the season before and then doesn't play, he's not gonna get the $45 million he once was, like he was that skill level. But since he plays 50 games at most during a season, he's not gonna get that much anymore. He's gonna get like a $38 million contract. I think player minutes is a huge part of it, because if you have a player getting starter minutes and the players want starter minutes, they're gonna want to go to that team more. So say you have a rookie coming off the bench, he's gonna want to go start at that second or third year. And so when his rookie contract ends, he wants to go start. Fame, that kind of only works with like these older players like LeBron, Kawhi, Kevin Durant. Even then, this plays a part obviously, because you get the name going to your city. So you get like LeBron. His true salary is 50 mil, but are you gonna pay LeBron 50 million at 39 years old when his contract's up? No, he's probably gonna be a 50 million or a $40 million player. And then this is the importance of a player role or the team success. So obviously, if a player's trying to ring chase, he's gonna go to this team. This is gonna be very important for that player trying to ring chase, and it's gonna also play a big part if you're able to make the playoffs. You'll probably be able to sign more people, because that's what happens in real life. If you make the playoffs, people are going to want to go to your team because they want to win. Simple as that. Example is like OKC. They got bounced by the Warriors a long time ago. Kevin Durant wanted to go win, so his player financial stuff is probably way higher than most players because he went to go win a ring. I'm an OKC fan. I have tough feelings about it, but he got his ring. He got what he wanted. So it just happens. It happens to every player. Everybody wants to go win. So plays a big part too. So that's probably it for the contracts. I'm keeping all the trade stuff the same. Yeah, we'll keep all the trades the same. I'm gonna turn injuries down just a little bit. I always turn severity down just a bit, duration down just a bit, because when you have a player out for the whole season, it sucks. It really does. Nobody wants their player out for the whole entire season, especially when you can have some really good playoff series or games. Keep the wear and tear on. Yeah, so we'll probably go with that. I don't mess with any of this stuff. I will change the the difficulty is going to stay. I'll end up changing the in-game difficulty when we get to the start of the season. Everything else seems to be at a good spot right now. 10-minute quarters, 82 games. I have the fatigue on, everything's on. I think that's a good start for the season. Alright, so we'll pick our team real quick. We're going to look at them. I'll kind of give my reasoning behind why I want them. After, like, these guys right here, it's pretty much dead. I mean, it's just rebuild time. The only player that looks to be on the upside is, like, Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, John Collins, Ochai Agbaji, Talon Horton-Tucker. Shout out to an Iowa State person. I'm from Iowa, so that's a pretty huge thing. Always gotta love the Iowa players. But otherwise, there's not much upside. Obviously, you got like Keontae George as our point guard. I think that's a very low rating. I think he should be a little bit better than that. But we got our point guard, shooting guard of the future. There's just a lot to look at this team and say we can do better. Do I think it would be a good team for a multiple season rebuild? Possibly. I would like to see a comeback of Colin Sexton. I thought he was pretty good at Cleveland, and he kind of, in my opinion, kind of fell off a little bit. Definitely fell off because he got injured for a little bit. But I think he can go back to that 24 points per game, playing pretty good. That's it for the Jazz. For the Hornets, obviously you have LaMelo Ball. We will be releasing Miles Bridges. He shouldn't be on this team. Obviously after that, you got Brandon Miller, and then the rest is just not a huge upside. You got like Mark Williams, which I'm a believer in. I think he'll be a pretty good defensive center for years to come. Nick Smith Jr., McGowens, JT Thor, Kai Jones. Those are all pretty fun players to watch. All lanky, tall players. Well, besides Bryce, he's not that tall. But they'd be a fun team to work with. Now the Rockets, you have a very electric scoring team. You have like Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Şengün, KPJ. I love KPJ. He's one of my favorite players. Jabari Smith Jr. There's a lot of upside to this team. You even have Thompson twins. And Cam Whitmore, who is a steal at pick 20 in my opinion. He's going to be amazing. I think this team is going to be really good in the future. I don't know if we should pick this team, though. I feel like we're giving ourselves too easy of a start. So I might actually deselect that team. And I think we'll deselect the Jazz. Let's look at the Nets. Oops. All right, so okay, so the Nets, we got Mikal Bridges, Nicholas Claxton, Dinwiddie, Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons, who we don't want. But then after that, it's kind of, there's not much upside to the young players. There really isn't. I think our star player would have to be Mikal Bridges. He'd have to blossom into that star player, that star role. Nicholas Claxton would have to become, in my opinion, way better at the center position. We'd have to make probably some early trades or wait till some of these contracts expire. So they're definitely an actual option. The Hornets are an actual option. The Spurs, I don't think we're gonna pick the Spurs because of Victor Wembanyama. That is not Victor. That is terrible. But they have a lot to do with the rest of the team that's young, and they have an upcoming star, Victor Wembanyama. I don't think we need him. I think playing through Victor Wembanyama is kind of a cheat. Yeah, I don't think the Spurs would be a very good team to pick just because of the star power that comes from Vic. Yeah, but for the Washington Wizards, not a whole lot, but I think we have potential to do something with this team. I know it's been quite a long time since they've been super successful. I would like to change that. I think the Wizards are a very good candidate. Um, the Trailblazers, obviously, we still have Dame, but I would like to end up finding a trade for Dame where he is somewhere good for him and to the same where we don't get a bad trade out of it. I don't want him to just go and create a super team while we're stuck here being like the worst team for the next 10 years. I would like to be able to make a trade while also keeping us in the possible play-in while also progressing our players. I'd like to get a lot of draft capital, a lot of young players if I could for Dame and then possibly Jeremy Grant. But Jeremy Grant isn't even a bad player, and I'd like to keep him too. Um, but yeah, we have a ton of young talent like Shaden Sharp, Chris Murray, also another Iowa guy. But this is a lot. This team has a lot of potential. Now for the Pistons, I'm still kind of wondering about that because we still have Cade Cunningham, he has a lot of that star power, same as Vic. Um, Bojan's an older player. Otherwise, they have a ton of super young talent. Another Thompson twin. It's a lot of young talent that would be pretty fun to mess around with and possibly get to that championship. I don't know about their draft picks. I want to say they have a pretty decent amount, but we'll see about that if we end up rebuilding them. And with the Pacers, another Iowa person, Tyrese Halliburton. I think he would be an amazing player to start out with. Miles Turner, who would probably end up trading away. I know he has good money, but he gets so upset in this game that it's terrible to even try and have him on your team. I would love to keep him, but if we do keep him, I would have to change some stuff around. Obviously, we have like that big contract of Buddy Hield expiring. Young player like Benedict Mathurin. They have another couple other players that are pretty young, like Jalen Smith. I think he has a future on this team. Aaron Nesmith has a future. Even Isaiah Jackson, I think he could be a pretty good backup center eventually. But yeah, guys, that's probably it for this video. This is more of just we have teams. I'm going to advance to the beginning of the season just so we have all these teams selected. I will not do anything with picking teams, trades. I will do nothing with that until this video is out, has a good day or two on it, and then you guys get to choose which team we rebuild. I think we can have a pretty fun time doing this. I'd like to play some games during this. I have some pretty good sliders for that I'll show you at the beginning of next video when we pick our team. If it becomes a tie between everything, I'll do a wheel, and I'll just pick a team through the wheel. So I'm going to download this draft class. And then obviously we have our teams. I'll go over them one more time. We got the Hornets, the Nets, the Pacers, the Pistons, the Trailblazers, and the Wizards. Those are the teams you guys get to pick from. Just comment down below. Maybe I'll put a poll up later. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.